Good day, everyone. Sue Johnson here. You already know that, don't you? I just want to do a little background story here and offer this, especially for new subscribers and the faithful people that have been subscribing and following along with Stanley and I and our story. And what I wanted to share is a little bit about Stanley, but mostly about me because I think he should share his own story. So if I haven't already said it, because sometimes as seniors we forget what we've done, thank you. Thank you all for subscribing, for sticking around, for dropping by. Really appreciate that. You'll find that I have two offerings. I tried to create two channels and became too cumbersome, so I just put them all together. The two offerings are basically the outdoor stuff, which includes the camping, which I really love. And knitting. Okay, so I do knit, and I knit almost everywhere. I knit in the car, I knit going to and from places. I don't knit when I'm walking. I knit in church. Um, I love it. And I just took one little project with me to Disney and I finished it up. And now, when I came home, which I'm at home now, I was going through knitting withdrawal. So I should show you all the wool. And never mind. Bought lots of wool. Got lots of projects on the go. So if you're following because of the knitting, stay tuned because I'm going to have lots of that. And if you're following because of camping, obviously the weather's changing, so we're not going to be able to get out the way we'd like to, although we do want to have at least one more camping trip where we can try out a couple things that we have for our tent. But if you like camping, then you're interested in the topic. You're interested in how to pack, how to plan, how to streamline things. Can I do it? Is it possible? And so forth. So I'm uh, I'm interested in those things, and basically I'm sharing them. So what I want to do by this video, and hopefully it's short, I said to Stanley, we'll talk about our life the same way we might to a couple of strangers. We met a couple in Disney World called by the name of Jim and Connie, and they're great people from Indiana. And we met a lot of other people as well. But I said to Stanley, okay, so I'm going to share in this video the similar things that we shared to Jim and Connie in Disney World when we met them. And that is that both of us are previously married. I was going to say previously owned. We were, in a way. And unfortunately, we're both very dedicated, committed people, very faithful. But unfortunately, we made bad choices. We married a person that we thought was similar to ourselves, similar values, and it turned out that they didn't have those things. So we both suffered through unfaithfulness in our marriages. And me personally, I had just made a commitment to stay for the rest of my life with this guy. And a whole series of circumstances found me locked out of the marriage and basically on the street kind of thing. So, and Stanley went through similar type experiences. So he was on his own 7.5 years with two of his four children, two boys, and I was on my own 4.5 years with two girls. So we actually met and married in 6 weeks. I know that seems incredible. I was 43, he was 54. There's 11.5 years difference in our age. But for me, as soon as I met him, I just knew this is the right guy for me. In fact, the very first time I met him, very briefly, which was 2 years before we got together, I remember looking at this guy. He had greeted a friend that I was with, a girlfriend, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I could go for a guy like this," and then thinking, like, "Whoa, where does that thought come from?" Because I wasn't looking for anybody. Um, I just figured, like, I'm single for the rest of my life. I could be content with that, and God had different experiences for me. So, and interesting enough, before Stanley and I met when we actually got together, it was probably July of 1997. my anniversary date. I forget all this stuff. Anyways, he was face down in a cornfield praying and saying, basically, God, whatever you got for me, I'm gonna, I'm gonna accept it, like whatever it is. And it was almost, if you could sort of imagine, God was in the clouds or wherever, and he's like, "Great, Stanley, I got you where I want you now, because I've been working on this lady over here, and we're gonna put this all together." So 2 months later, we met and we married within 6 weeks. So, and I never ever had a single doubt. And we're coming on to 27 years marriage, October 24th, and it's just the same. As Stanley would put it, we started talking and we have not stopped. And that's been a big key in our relationship, is being able to talk. That doesn't mean we don't have time on our own. We do. I just spent this morning mostly with wool, a lot of knitting, winding balls of wool, knitting, making things, a few things going by. And working on a video and stuff like that. So you could say I have a third interest, and that's making these videos. And maybe one day I'll share that if anybody is interested. Because coming to the whole editing, video, photography process, that's a learning curve for me. I retired from counseling. That's my forte, really. You ask me a question about that, we don't have to. And I can give you an answer. Somebody asked me why they have strange dreams like they do, and I was able to talk about the mind-body connection or disconnect that happens to a lot of us. Newfoundlanders call it the old hag. You know, I can answer a lot of questions regarding spirituality, physical, mind-body connection. We studied all that stuff. It was great, and I'm still interested in that. So occasionally that's going to slip out in my videos because it's who I am. So that's just a brief background, and if anybody wants to know any more, go ahead and ask questions. And in the meantime, I will be working on a video which is about how going to Disney is like camping, at least for us seniors, and the correlation there. I think you'll find it interesting, because it's not your usual, hey, we went to Disney, we went on the rides, we looked at the entertainment, the weather was great, you were at home. It's not that kind of a video. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be like, but I do have some ideas. And that's what I do like. I like the whole creative process of making these videos. So I hope you enjoy them. And I know some of you do, because you tell me, and I really appreciate your comments. So as you know what they say, thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will get back to you. Cheers.